God being love is also happiness. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. This is lesson 117 of A Course in Miracles combined with letting go, the pathway of surrender, the Sedona Method. We bring it all together here. This is the place, release to results, where we allow the gifts that God has for us to unveil themselves. They've always been here through letting go of what is not actually here. And you may be shocked and amazed in the wondrous joy that comes through the realization of what you are and what's here for you through the process of releasing, letting go, surrendering to God, using A Course in Miracles as prompts for doing this. So, love is happiness. We've been talking about God's will. God's will for you is perfect happiness. That's it. God's got a function for you, salvation of the world. Are you engaged with your function, or are you substituting lighting the world with darkness? And this isn't to bring up any guilt or shame. We all get engaged in some silly things while we're here playing this human experience, pretending to be separate from all that is. It's okay. Could you simply notice anything that feels other than happy, other than love, and release it and be restored to what you are? A happy light of the world, bringing peace to all minds through your forgiveness. The salvation of the world, your best interests are at hand should you allow them. So let's begin and let's do some letting go on lessons 103 and 104. God being love is also happiness. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. God being love is also happiness. Could you remember love is happiness? And nothing else brings joy. And so, could you choose to entertain no substitute for love? Could you use your free will and allow yourself to entertain love and let go of other than that? To be happy and release other than that? Could you allow joy in your life by surrendering what is other than that? God being love is also happiness. Is there anything that you, in your innocence, it's okay, have been entertaining as a substitute for love and happiness? What do you allow on the altar of your being, of your day, that would take the place of this joy God has for you? And without criticizing yourself or judging yourself, could you just notice what comes up other than happiness, other than love that you've been entertaining? What what comes what would you obscure love and happiness with? And taking anything that came to mind, could you go behind the mind, ignore the thoughts, and just notice the feeling, this resistance to love and happiness? Thoughts come up, it's okay. Could you just let those pass by and feel whatever feeling? It's just obscuring what's really there for you. Nothing to change, nothing to modify, just some energy. Could you let yourself be aware of it? And could you release this substitute for love and happiness? Would you release this substitute? for joy? When could you release and allow love and happiness to be your entertainment? God being love is also happiness. Let me remember love is happiness, and nothing else brings joy. And so I choose to entertain no substitute for love. And what have I been substituting for love, for joy, for happiness? And that's totally okay. Without condemning myself or making wrong or right of myself, could I just notice what comes up? What have I been using for entertainment besides love, happiness, and joy? And could I just notice how it feels when I'm putting that in the way of love and happiness? Could I allow any of that stuck energy to move just by noticing it, watching it, letting it come up? And could I let it go? Could I let go of using something other than love and happiness for my entertainment? Would I let go of something that I might have everything that's here for me? When could I let go of whatever I've been substituting for love and happiness? Nothing I have to do, always free to choose. And some of this other stuff can seem very entertaining. I might derive some kind of interesting pleasure in some other way. And that's okay. Just could I let it go and find greater things that are available that God has for me? God being love is also happiness. Could you remember love is happiness and nothing else brings joy? And could you choose to no longer entertain a substitution for love? Nothing you're forced to do. Could you notice something you've been substituting for love? And just being open, could you allow whatever came to mind for you to just come up and let the thoughts drift by and notice the energy that's been substituted for love? Nothing you need to change or modify. Could you just bring that energy up and start to become enlightened? Start to allow that energy to be enlightened just by feeling it, noticing it. And could you surrender this substitution for happiness to be surrendered? Give it up. Would you surrender substituting this energy in place of love? When could you surrender any substitute for love, happiness that brings you joy? There's no rush, just allowing anything that you've been substituting to come up, surrendering it. The joy will be there, the happiness will be there, the love will be there. God is all that remains when you surrender everything other than that. Lesson 104, I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts my Father gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Is there anything that I've been accepting in the place of my heritage, that love and that joy? What have I been seeking or allowing other than the gifts my Father has for me? And could you just notice what came up? Because you know what you've been holding in place of Father's gifts, and that's okay. We pick up all kinds of things in our innocence. Could you just notice what it feels like to be accepting something so small in place of something so great? Could you allow any feeling, any energy that stirred in your field to move and unstick, even welcome it? Could you ignore the thoughts and just be releasing anything you've been hanging on to other than your Father's gifts? Could you release what isn't really yours to have what is? Would you release playing with some energy that would obscure what's here for you? When could you release and have but what belongs to you in truth? You already do. Right now, you seek but what belongs to you in truth. Or could you seek but what belongs to you in truth? Love is your heritage, and with it, joy. These are the gifts your Father gave to you. Could you accept all that is yours in truth? And could you notice any resisting the joy, the love, the happiness your Father has given you, your true inheritance that might show up as holding on to something in its place, some fear, some anger, some guilt? Whatever comes to mind for you that you've been holding in place of truth, could you simply acknowledge it? And you could ask yourself, would I rather have this or what my Father has for me in truth? And could it be so simple? Could you simply allow yourself to be letting go of what's been in the place of your Father's gifts? Letting go, just allowing it to pass, allowing it to fall away, allowing light to shine in the darkness. Could you let go? Would you let go of any gifts that your Father didn't give you? When could you let go and accept all that is yours in truth? It's just a choice. You never have to. A loving Father allowing you to choose what you will. His will for you is perfect happiness. Would you accept that gift? Though a gift must have a place. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts my Father gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. And so to make room for his gifts, I'm going to clean out my closet. What have I been holding in place of his gifts? Any guilt, any grief, any pride, any desire? He has everything for me that is joy and love and happiness. What have I been holding in place of his gifts? And just like those things we keep in our closets that we think we really need, but it's not really necessary. Could you allow yourself to notice some lower energy, some darkness you've been carrying, whatever comes to mind? And could you just notice how it feels to be holding on to that in place of our Father's gifts? And could you begin to make room for your Father's gift? What's really there for you? Could you begin releasing, surrendering, holding on to anything other than His that is also yours? Could you surrender, make way for His gifts that are yours? Would you surrender and allow His gifts to fill the space you've made? When could you surrender and have but what belongs to you in truth? God's gifts, your heritage, your inheritance, joy, love, happiness, light. Are there rooms for these in your house? Are you available for what you're here to do in truth? Joyously and happily light the world? Could you keep making more room? Could you continue to release anything obscuring the love and happiness you have and will share with our brothers? God being love is also happiness. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. God being love is also happiness. Could you seek but what belongs to you in truth? Could you allow it? Could you make room for it? Could you fulfill the happy function you're here to do? Your function, your gift to the world. As you receive your Father's gifts, they continue to be spread in the world. All it takes is to accept that gift. Could you allow it and share it and pass it on? The love of God, the happiness of God, the joy of God, that's all that's asked of you, to accept it and to share it with your brothers. Enjoy this holy function today, my brothers.